And again, we're watching the main event of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. I guess episode 3 of this season, the summer season. And the main event's Anatina Shevchenko, which I think they said is the older sister of Valentina Shevchenko, who's sitting in a corner and fighting Nivara. Obviously, Shevchenko better standing up, rocked her twice already. Somehow this Nivara chick got her to the ground, kind of like with like a weird. Shevchenko tried to throw her like a Muay Thai throw. They landed kind of in a weird position where Shevchenko almost got caught in like an armbar kind of, and then just kind of fell into guard. Sitting up in her guard right now, dropping a couple shots, standing up, throwing shots. Oh, she's gonna knock her out like this. Chick needs to be on the ground. She's not willing to get up at any. Oh. Might be throwing up a submission. Might be throwing up a submission. We'll see here. No, not as of right now. Anyway, uh, I wanted to touch on one major point on this video right here, and that was that I seen on Ariel Helwani's new show on ESPN that that Daniel Cormier had said that he would like for his last two fights. He said a couple of interesting things. I'll say that, not just not just one or two. Um, he stated that he wants to be done by March of 2019, which is from today. Let's see. Let's just start from July. So August. Talking about 8 months. He said he wants to do two fights within 8 months or so. I'm probably off, not doing my fucking count right. But about 8 months or so, he wants to do two fights. He says he thinks everything goes good with this fight. He could fight again in November. And then he said he wants to make his last fight in March. Um, okay. A little bit too close for timeline, two fights. You're an older guy. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. You want to be done by a certain time. And, this chick is beat up badly here. Bleeding like a motherfucker. Shevchenko just. Oh, Jesus. She's cut bad. But, it's a short amount of time. So, I mean, it's weird that you would want to get two fast fights in like that. You know, when he's got like, such a good thing going for him. That the only fighter he's lost to ever was Jon Jones, and Jon Jones got popped for something in both fights. So I mean, so I mean, oh shit, they let the fight go on. But okay, so that's the first crazy thing that I could say for Daniel off the bat. Then he says his ideal, and I kind of understand. I understand where he's coming from. He says his ideal next two last fights would be Jon Jones and um, Brock Lesnar. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Daniel. Neither one of them is gonna happen. Maybe Brock in March. Maybe that's your retirement fight. But John, at least getting 2 years. That run from his last fight, which was in 2017, so late in 2017. So he's not coming back till late 2019 after you want to retire. So Jon Jones out of the picture. Brock has to wait 6 months. He has to get into the USADA pool for 6 months before he could start, before he could book a fight. So, I mean, I mean, he can't book a fight till December. So he can only book your March fight. I mean, that's probably going to be like his minimum. Like the quickest he'll fight is March, probably. You know? Uh, so, I mean, you better start working on that now, but how you going to work on that when you're trying to work on a fight in November? It just don't get put together well, man. And when you put your plans out there like that, somebody's gonna fuck it up just cause they're gonna be like, you think that makes you the best ever if you win all those fights. So I'm gonna fuck it up and make sure you don't have those fights. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna call you out. They're gonna make a good beef going. You're gonna take that fight. You know, it's just setting yourself up, man. You shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have told your plans. Number one. Number two, if you were gonna say something, just being that guy. You know, being the championship. You know, stand-up guy. You never played the bad guy. Jones played the bad guy the whole time. Uh, you should have just fucking. You should have chose the next two in line. You should have said, you know what? I won the heavyweight belt. I'm gonna fight the number. I'm gonna go back in November and fight number one contender at light heavyweight, and then I'm gonna come up in March and fight number one contender in heavyweight. And you would have got a lot more respect for that interview, man. That's all I'm saying. And people wouldn't have did a lot of fucking with you. You know, yeah, that you would have had to do that. You know, but dude, it's happened before, man. The Connors would get an immediate rematch if he came back. Brock Lesnar was one of their biggest draws. He'll get an immediate rematch. He's technically the number one contender. So it could happen. Jones not happening. You should have thought about that before you even asked you the question. Jones ain't happening. No matter what. Unless you aren't stopping in March. That's it. Period. Not going to happen. Um, I'm sorry. You know, I don't want to be the guy that breaks to you. I hope I am the guy that breaks to you. So you hit me up and you look for me to me for advice. You know, I'll let you know. Oh, this is not even nice anymore. Shevchenko's just fucking this chick up. And what's cool about this fight right here is that if Shevchenko gets the contract, it's the first pair of sisters in the UFC, which is pretty cool. Excuse me. UFC Singapore was last Saturday. I was in New York while it was going on. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't bring my fucking Fight Pass password with me. It was fucking too early in the morning anyway. But good fights I heard of. I seen the recaps for most of the fights. I'm gonna do a little bit of matchmaking. Play Sean Shelby. I'm gonna write a blog about it later, so everybody can see in writing what I'm picking and some of the reasons why. Maybe I don't say all of them right now. Um, I feel that way, but I'm just gonna start with the co-main event with the loser Tyson Pedro, who I think fought a good fight for OSP, who I thought looked great going out there to 205. I'd love to see Tyson Pedro fight at 185. I love it, but he looked great, man, and OSP fought a good fight, and Tyson Pedro fought a fucking dangerous fight. He went to the ground with OSP and almost got OSP once. He was getting close, you know, fucking king of motherfucker. But but for Tyson's next fight, I say Misha Serkinov doesn't have a fight scheduled right now. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, ranked higher than Tyson Pedro. So I mean, Tyson Pedro coming off a 1-fight losing streak wouldn't look too appealing to Misha, but at the same time, I mean, how big could you be coming off a 2-fight losing streak? So I think that'd be a good fight for Tyson Pedro to bounce back to. Tyson Pedro is one of my favorite fighters right now. It's a good fighter, man. The dude's, he's nice with it, man. And then his opponent, OSP, Shevchenko just stopped her with knees to the body, and the bitch wasn't gonna quit. Was not gonna quit. That chick had a lot of heart, man. She was not gonna quit, and then fucking Herb said, "I seen enough, man. It's over with." OSP, I like to see OSP come back and have a rematch with Jimmy Manuwa. He got knocked out the last time they fought, and Jimmy Manuwa was ranked higher than him. You know, also coming off a 2-fight losing streak. OSP now coming off the 1-fight winning streak. I don't know, did he win a couple fights or did he lost? I don't know. Either way, Jimmy's ranked above him. It's a rematch. People always pay to see the rematch. I think it's pretty obvious there. Unless Jimmy don't want to do it. But Jimmy, just like we said for Misha, you shouldn't have much of a choice now, should you? You should have to fight him. 2-fight losing streak, and you should be fighting for your life, not to be on a 3-fight losing streak, you know? And then the main event, Donald Cerrone, who I love Donald Cerrone. I think he's a great fighter. I think every more fighter should be like Donald Cerrone. He's a fucking bad motherfucker, yeah. And sometimes you just get old, man. You pass the hill. He said he's not gonna stop fighting until the UFC tells him they don't want him to anymore, which they have done. They've done it with Chuck, done it with some people. And what I think he means literally. When I think he says that, I think he means like, I will retire from fighting completely when you guys tell me you think I should. Because I probably should then. So I think he meant that quite literally, man. And he's just that much of a badass. And he says, when you guys don't want to pay me no more, I'll quit. Because that means I don't got a job. Um, so, I really like the guy, man. I think he should stick around. I don't see him getting cut anytime soon, but I think one fight that I would really like to see before everybody's done. I don't know if this guy's done or not yet, but I really want to see Donald Cerrone go up against Carlos Condit. What better time than right now for it to be against Carlos Condit? Donald Cerrone kind of having a hard time fighting the younger guys. Carlos Condit, an older guy, just had a hard time fighting one of the younger guys coming back off of being off for so long. Um, you know, Carlos can look at it as this is a guy who has fought a lot of young guys, taking a lot of damage. So let's go in there and give some more damage, and it could be a banger. And that's how Carlos could look at it. He wants to fight one of those kind of fights. And Donald could look at it like maybe Oliveira beat him because he is just that rusty from being off. Condit looked good. He looked good in this fight with Alex Oliveira. When it came down to the rounds, where it needs to come down to, he lost. He lost the fight. He got knocked out or choked out. He got finished. He definitely got finished by Cowboy Oliveira. It's obvious to me why both fighters would think they were going to win the fight, and it's going to be a great fight for the fans. So I say, McMahon, Sean Shelby, I'm doing your job for you, man. You don't gotta pay me much, but hook me up with something, man. We got a shorty in the house. I just bought a house. I'm only 23. Hook me up, you know what I'm saying? I love you guys pay for all the fucking pay-per-views. I try to watch all the China fucking events at 8 o'clock in the morning. I try to catch what I can. Fuck with the UFC. Team UFC all day long. And then finally the winner, Leon Edwards, of the main event, who I think's a hell of a fighter. He's a great fighter, and yeah, man. I think it sucks to say, man. It happens in every sport there is. Nobody ever likes to say it because when you get older, like my dad and shit, they'll never get over Jordan. Never think that somebody's better than Jordan. So it sucks to know like there are people that are gonna take like that just Donald Cerrone can't beat, and like Carlos kind of can't beat the younger guys. And Leon Edwards, he's one of those younger guys, man. He's just got the same kind of grit Donald Cerrone did 7 years ago, 8 years ago, And Donald Cerrone probably still has it. It's just 7, 8 years worn out, man. It's just like getting a brand new car. Like, if I get a 2014, if I get a 2014 Ford Explorer, right? And I drive that shit for 7 years. And in 2021 comes out, and I buy a 2021 Ford Explorer, same exact car, made exactly the same way. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to race? What do you want to do? Like, it's 7 years later. Shit has changed, you know what I'm saying? People train differently. It's just different, man. It's completely different. And sometimes you're right. Sometimes the older car is better. Every once in a while, the older car is better. It was just built better. The younger car wasn't built like that older car. But, for the most part, do you want to race, old guy? You know what I'm saying? It's just, It sucks, but that's how it is, man. Once you get past a certain age, you couldn't fuck with 7, 8 years ago. You know, couldn't do it. It's the same concept, man. And I looked at a lot of similarities in Don Cerrone and Leon Edwards, but like 6, 7 years ago, Don Cerrone, he's a different fighter, man. He's a different fighter. I talk so much about him. I want him to fight Jorge Masvidal next. Who's coming off a 2 fight losing streak, Damian Maia and Stephen Thompson. Um, my grappler, Stephen Thompson, a point fighter. I think Masvidal wants to come in there and bang. And Leon Edwards obviously showed he has no problem with that with Don Cerrone. Younger guy in Masvidal. I'd like to see how Leon Edwards is challenged with the younger fighter. But those are my picks. I'd like to see those fights next. Uh, Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, Dana White, whoever can get it to happen, come to the Southeast as much as you can. We love the UFC in the Southeast. We love it. I can only speak for myself times a million because my love for the UFC equals like probably a solid 1,500 people. Yeah, at least. At least. You know? So, I mean, that's a lot when you just count me. You know? Fuck it. Whatever. This Saturday we got nothing. Next Saturday we got, next Friday and Saturday we got, Friday we got Asanya and Brad Tavares. And then Saturday we got Cormier and Miocic. So we might do something. But we'll see you guys again next Tuesday. Every Tuesday. Dana White Tuesday night contender series.